And welcome back to Coast. I'm George Norrie. We're going to start by going to Dave. He's truck driving right now in Texas. He has been on hold so long, he probably started in Pennsylvania. Hey, Dave, welcome to the show.
No, nothing like that. Matter of fact, your call screener was a little confused because I was like, no, I'm not really truck driving. He goes, well, are you or not?
You are now.
Sometimes I only drive about 2 miles a day.
Well, thanks. You've been on hold for a long time. What's going on, David?
Well, in fact, being here in the oil field is part of the subject of why I'm calling. I am a business owner, and I have had a lot of different kind of businesses, and I had to come to the oil field this time because, as you know, a lot of small businesses go bust.
Sure.
And about the third one that I had built up did so. And I kind of started to get fascinated by the whole problem of small business in this country, and I started studying the economic system. And it's funny, you had that John Truman Wolf on. I ended up communicating with him. Very, very informative guest. I actually am involved in a movement that we have some experts and stuff that we'd like to get on the show sometime also.
All right, bring them our way.
Yeah, what we're trying to educate people about is something called capital homesteading. And as you know, the Federal Reserve loans money to the banks to create currency, basically.
That's right.
And the banks reloan it, and it's like a fractional system. It's like frivolous debt. And then, you know, that's okay when things are going good. There's, you know, sort of a boom. But then when there's something that goes wrong, you get bankruptcies, foreclosures, write-downs. That's actually taking money out of the system.
It's like a domino, and it keeps hitting the other domino.
Exactly. And I mean, the mainstream press and the politicians, they want you to focus on the liberal versus conservative issue. And actually, a lot of people profit on that conflict. But I say the main problem in our country while we're having hard times is this monetary system thing.
Which probably should all be changed.
Exactly. And the capital homesteading, what that is we say instead of loaning money to the banks in a frivolous way that creates this fractional sort of fake money, we want to loan money from the Fed straight to the citizens, but you'd have to put it in a retirement account and invest in dividend-paying corporations. That way it's always going to productive, legitimate things that actually pass, like bank feasibility tests and things that are proven like that.
Well, now, how would the individual, Dave, get the money to use?
Well, it would be kind of like Social Security or something like that, except that it's like a privatized retirement. It's like a super IRA that you would go to your bank and open up, and the bank would more or less handle a transaction with the Federal Reserve. In fact, I am not the expert on this, but I got several. One of the guys that is Dr. Norm Kerwin, and he was on Ronald Reagan's task force for economic justice, and brilliant guy, and a huge history. He was instrumental in getting the employee ownership laws passed, ESOP.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, that has helped thousands and thousands of people in this country. The average retiree that worked for an ESOP corporation retires with 80% more wealth than workers from non-ESOP corporations.
Well, and the ownership stays within the corporation, within the employees, right?
Exactly. And that's the thing. We've got to start finding ways to empower individuals to be owners and not so much focused on just being a worker of a big corporation. Did you know the top 6 Walmart heirs, which are like the kids of the Waltons or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
They own 40%. I mean, they own more wealth than 40% of workers in the United States.
Just them combined.
Just those 6. And we don't want to take anything away from them, actually.
Well, you know what?
What we want to do is we want to change the system so that the average person can just find a way to get into that wealth on a small scale.
Well, you definitely get us some information on the guests. And look, I don't take anything away from Americans who have developed, with their own creativeness, incredible wealth. The Bill Gates, the Sam Waltons. These are people who started with an idea, virtually nothing. My friend Ron Rice, who invented and created Hawaiian Tropic with $500 that he borrowed from his father, and he mixed up his first batch of Hawaiian Tropic tanning lotion in a garbage can, and then he would bottle it and have these guys go around the beaches in Florida to sell it. And then he turned it into a multi-million-dollar corporation, ended up selling it, did very, very well with it. I don't fault anybody for making money in this country. That's what this is all about. But the name of the game is to preserve and to help other people along the way. And a lot of these people have done that by creating jobs and everything else. Let's go next to Lisa in